I feel like we have a big move coming in MATIC here, and let's just go straight to the daily chart. I mean, I could not imagine a better looking daily chart than what I'm seeing right here. After this fantastic run up we saw in crypto back in October, MATIC was down here around 0.5, right? It doubled, a little more than doubled, got up to over 1. And since it has just been doing, well, before and after really, has been doing this ranging. But look at this, it's staying so perfectly within this range that we have. It's basically down here of 0.73 to 1 is really where the range is. And we've just been ranging up and down, not getting too low, not getting too high. But look where we're at now. Yesterday, or at least according to this bar, this daily bar, my time closed about 3 hours ago. So yesterday, MATIC had a nice move. It broke through this barrier of 0.92, and it just needs to go a little bit higher. It needs to get up to that psychological barrier of 1. That's a very important barrier, not only because it's a nice round number. Well, actually, that's the primary reason it is a psychological barrier, because it is a nice round number, and that's how humans deal with numbers. We like to see nice, round, easy numbers. And of course, the algorithms know that, and so people program the algorithms around that. But looking back, this is the range we're in for MATIC right now. We are in for MATIC right now. And this goes back, this is the daily chart back to July 2022. And look how many tops we have in this range. There's a top, back down, a top, back down, a top, back down, a top, back down, top, back down, a down, back up, a down, back up, down, back up. You see the point. My whole point here is this has been historically a very important level for MATIC. It's basically 0.93 to 1. We are in that range this very, very second as I'm making this video. And at any point, some of this money could rotate into crypto, into MATIC, like all this millions and billions of dollars floating around into crypto right now. And it could do what VET did. And the reason I know VET did this is because I am a holder of VET and I make videos on VET. And VET's not a small coin. Okay, this wasn't some coin that was started back in March, right? Of last year. This coin's been around for a while, and it is in the top 30 of market cap, and it went up in 40% in a matter of 3 days. Any of these coins could do that as long as Bitcoin keeps moving up and out. And it seems like almost daily or every other day we look at a big cap coin that's in the top 50, and it moves up 10 spaces in the market cap rankings, right? So it goes from 40 to 50 or 50 to 40. That's how quickly it seems like things go up in this world. So let's look at coin market cap here. Let's look at MATIC. Where is MATIC? Look, it's number 14. It is a fantastic project, a fantastic coin, and it could take off at any second. It just has that much money flowing around it. It's what, a $9 billion market cap coin? So really, we're just waiting for money to continue to push Bitcoin up, which it is doing, and waiting for any of these altcoins to explode. And as long as you're in a good coin, which MATIC is, and as long as the technicals look fine and MATIC looks fantastic, there's absolutely no barriers to it breaking up. At any point, it could be on that conveyor belt that gets picked up and absolutely blasts. And once we get above this level, if we can get above this level, that might be the time it happens. All it needs to do is get above 1, close a little bit, and then it could take off. Not saying it will, I'm saying it could. And what I'm like that, it needed to get through this level of 0.033 to 0.035. I mentioned that in one of my videos, and I said if we can get through that, we have a chance to take off. Now, when I meant take off, I meant come up here and actually, touched the previous high of late last year. I didn't know it would do that, but that's the beautiful thing about crypto. That's the beautiful thing about these altcoins, and the beautiful thing about MATIC right now is that we can absolutely blast at any second. So a lot's going to depend on A, Bitcoin, what is it going to do, and B, timing. And we don't know when the timing is. You just need to be in the game. And I'm assuming, since you're watching this video, you're probably in the MATIC game. Let's talk about Bitcoin. I've given this a few times already. I'm going to leave these lines here. Okay, Bitcoin, work with me here. All right, good. This is the daily chart for Bitcoin. Let's talk through this really quick. Of course, we've got this fantastic run up since January, right? This is the halving that is expected in sometime middle of April. Historically, this is how price has reacted. Before the halving, we had a nice run up, and then price would fall 20, 30, 40% before consolidating here through the halving and a little bit after the halving before Bitcoin would take off. That's kind of historically how prices look roughly. We're not going to fall 40% in Bitcoin. Okay, that would be 20,000 points. We're not going to fall down to 30,000, not in this environment. We may fall 10 to 20% if we're going to fall at all, right? That would be what, 5,000 to 10,000 points, which might put us into this 40 to 45,000 range. Okay. And that is historically how the patterns have worked in previous halvings. But we've never had the institutional inflow into Bitcoin that we have now before this halving. And right now we have a supply and demand situation. I'm following Milk Road on Twitter. You should follow Milk Road on Twitter. If you're not on Twitter, then you should go to their website and sign up for their free crypto newsletter. They're showing in this tweet right here that was posted yesterday, there has been $2 billion of inflow money into these Bitcoin ETFs this week. That's $2 billion. These are the previous days since the ETFs were approved back in January. There was another tweet that a guy posted that said like $400 million had come into Bitcoin one day, and that was less than 10, or that was more than 10 times greater than the miners had mined out of Bitcoin that day. So think on that. You've got somebody coming in and saying, I want to spend 10 times as much money as what you have available right now. So if you go and you're trying to sell, let's say, a car, and you put a nice sign out of it in the middle of your yard, you walk out there and there's 10 people standing around the car with their money in hand saying, here, I'm ready to buy your car now. Guess what you're going to do? You're probably, if you don't raise the price on that car, you're going to sell that car and you're going to buy another one just like it. And I guarantee you, you're going to raise the price on it before you sell that one. Why? Supply and demand. You got 10 people wanting what there is only one of. And that is why Bitcoin is moving and has blasted up here. So the other school of thought is others are saying, look, we're not going to have a fall because there's too much demand for Bitcoin. We're just going to continue to creep up before the halving because historically we've never had this much money coming into Bitcoin before a halving, right? So that makes, kind of sense to me. So going back to MATIC, if Bitcoin does fall, you might see MATIC do something like this. You know what? We don't care. Why? Because we're pretty sure it's not going to get below this level. Okay, the crypto environment is just not set up for us to be making lower lows right now, not for a quality project like MATIC. And so all this means is we need to wait a little longer before we eventually get beyond this one barrier, 1.00, and move on. It's not a matter of if, it's only a matter of when. And so be patient. Watch the crypto market. Just be patient. Be careful. Don't fumble anything. Don't get impatient. If you're in MATIC, you're in a good spot. How high will it go? Who knows? There's no way I'm smart enough, and by the way, nobody else is either, to predict 6 months or 1 year down the road for any crypto. We can guess, we can think, we can hope, but the fact of the matter is, right now, the best thing you can do is watch. And I think what you'll see over the next few days, maybe the next few weeks, is a good move above these highs in MATIC and carrying on to newer and better highs. All right, that's my update on MATIC. Y'all be careful out there and enjoy this time. I tell you, for those of us that have been watching crypto the last 2 years or so, that was painful. This is fun.